Hello, everyone, and welcome back. My name is Mr. Cobalt, and in this video, I am going to be going over the signs of chemical reactions. So let's get into this. So here, what are the signs of the chemical reaction? So if a chemical reaction is occurring, there's a few ways that you can tell that it is occurring. So one of the telltale signs of a chemical reaction is temperature change. So let's write that down. So temperature change. Temperature change. So, what do I mean by temperature change? So, if a reaction is going on, either that reaction vessel or where the reaction is being held is going to either absorb energy from the environment, right? So, it's going to take energy in. And in that case, when I'm holding, let's say the reaction is occurring in a beaker or in a test tube, and I'm holding onto the test tube, in that case, the reaction could be absorbing energy from my hand. It's going to take heat away from my hand. It's going to make my hand feel cold, right? So it's absorbing energy from my hand into the beaker or into the test tube. Or it could be releasing heat, releasing energy. And so in that case, I'm going to feel warmth, right? So heat is being released to my hand when I'm holding onto the beaker or when I'm holding onto the test tube. So I'm going to feel the heat coming from the reaction. So there's going to be a temperature change. If I was to take a thermometer and put it into the reaction solution, I would see either the temperature go up, meaning heat was released from the reaction, or the temperature would be going down, meaning energy or heat was absorbed, right? So temperature change is a big one. Another one is the production of light. So produces light, right? So if you react something together and light forms, right? This is a typical reaction for this would be if I light magnesium ribbon on fire. So if I have a piece of magnesium and I put it into the fire, if it catches on fire, you'll see a big glow of light forming, right? So something that catches on fire, something that's producing light, in some way, that's going to be a dead giveaway that a reaction is occurring. So a third one would be gas formation. So three, gas formation. And what is the observation of gas formation? Anyone out there? Yes, you're absolutely right. Bubbles, right? So bubbles are going to be forming when a gas is formed. So that's going to be a telltale sign that that you're producing a gas in your reaction is if it's bubbling. Now, not all bubble production indicates a reaction, but if you mix two substances together, that means a reaction is occurring. Now, if you shake up your soda can or your seltzer bottle or something like that, and you see bubbling, that's not really a reaction. So all that's coming there is that the carbon dioxide gas that's trapped and dissolved in your liquid is then coming out of the solution. So it's not really, there's no reaction going on there. But yeah, this would be another sign of a reaction is occurring. Another one would be what we call uh, precipitate formation. So what is precipitate formation? So a precipitate formation is where instead of you're forming a gas where you see bubbles, here you're forming a solid. So a solid is produced. So this is in this situation where if you have two clear beakers, I have a beaker of a clear substance, looks like water, and then I have another beaker of another clear substance that looks like water. But then when I mix them together, all of a sudden you get like an orange cloudy stuff form or a yellow cloudiness forms when you mix them together. That cloudiness, that white, yellow, orange, whatever color cloudiness that forms, that is your precipitate that's forming. So a precipitate is just a solid that forms as a product of a reaction. So that's going to be a common word we're going to be using in chemistry. So precipitate formation. And then finally, a last sign of a reaction is a color change. So color change. So I mentioned before, for the precipitation reaction, you might see an orange color or something like that, or cloudiness. If you ever get cloudiness forming when you get two clear substances, you add them together and all of a sudden it turns cloudy, that would be precipitate formation. It doesn't necessarily have to be a color. Sometimes it's white. But when you get a color change, maybe you don't get cloudiness, but there's a color change, that also is indicating some sort of reaction going on, because whatever substances you had before, they didn't really absorb or reflect any light in some way. But then when you mix them together, whatever product you're forming, now it's reflecting a certain wavelength of light. You're seeing that reflection of light that you didn't see before, right? So there's a color change going on. And so those are the typical signs of a chemical reaction. So temperature change, either it's letting off heat or it's absorbing heat, produces light, gas formation, bubbles. I should write that down, bubbles. So bubbles, precipitate formation, the formation of a solid, cloudiness, right? So we'll write that down, cloudiness. And then your color change. So those are the signs of your typical signs of a chemical reaction. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was short, so that's always a good thing. Let me know if you enjoyed this video. Hit the like button, smash it. If you like my channel, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified of any other videos I'm being put out. And again, put a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think and if you have any questions. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.